What if I want to do something to everything in an array? I haven't thought that far ahead. What if I just want to print each one out? I could use a loop. Like a for loop. For, now in this case, I would actually have to use let, not const, right? Because it's going to get reassigned every time through. So I equals 0, I less than veggies dot length, I plus plus, console log veggies of I, as he says, colon, so delicious. There you go. Corn, so delicious. Brussels sprouts, so delicious. Carrots, the bomb, so delicious. I don't know about you. I think for loops are hideous. You mean I have to create a counter and keep track of it? You can't do that for me? Oh my gosh, there's got to be a way to just say, do the same thing to everything in an array. Is there? I see hands. Hold on. All right, Kyle, what do you think? Say that one more time, slowly. For something in veggies. That is a thing. For in. Yep. Anybody know another way? Yeah. Map. Ooh, that's pretty fancy. Somebody else said something else. Yeah. For each. All right. Let's look at those. For in, totally valid. I'm going to use the other two. All right. Does that sound good? Let's learn about for each. What does for each do? I wonder if it's a... Yep. Let's look it up. Array prototype for each. Executes a provided function once for each array element. So the syntax, array.forEach, then you pass in a parameter. The parameter is callback. Function to execute for each element, taking 3 arguments. What's this callback business? What's a callback? Sounds complicated. To put it simply, a callback in general is just a function that you pass as an argument to another function. So we've already used a callback to add event listener, right? Because it's going to get called probably inside the other function. So we call them callback functions. So when you pass a function as an argument to another function, it's a callback. So the function that we provide needs to take some arguments, though. So let's start doing something here. For each. Veggies dot for each. We need to give it a function. Oh, come on. And what do you suppose the argument is going to be? Each item, right? It's going to do the same thing to each item, so it needs to know you need a way to refer to the item. So I'll just say veggie. You can name it whatever you want, of course. The name doesn't matter. It's just for you to use inside the definition of your function. So then I could say console log hey kids, who wants veggie? Hey kids, who wants? Oh, let's put a question mark out there. Let's put a question mark and an exclamation mark. All right. Hey kids, who wants carrots? The bomb. If you look at the documentation here, the callback can also take the index. So if you need to do something with I for some reason, it can also take the array itself as an argument. Cool. Then there's map. What's the difference? Do you know the difference? Wasn't it you who said map? Weren't you the one who said array map? And what do you know the difference between that and forEach? Different? Huh? There's a slight difference. The name. Yeah, yeah. Map returns a new array. So it actually collects the return values and returns them as a new array. So you could, if you just didn't do anything with the return value, you could use it exactly every place you would use forEach. But you can actually do something with the return values. So we could say instead, whoops. We could say const statements of love equals veggies dot map function veggie return I less than 3 veggie. And let's see what we have in statement of love. Yeah, we have this array of I heart carrots, the bomb. I heart corn. I heart Brussels sprouts. Yeah.
What is the $veggie doing in this instance?
String interpolation. So with the backticks, I'm making a string, but unlike when I use quotation marks, if I put $ square brackets, then I can put any JavaScript expression inside that, and it will evaluate it right there on the spot.
Okay.
So this function, every time it gets called, the value of this veggie variable is going to be the next item in the array. So it's calling that function once with carrots. It's calling the function again with corn. Calling the function again with Brussels sprouts. Yeah.
So what's being passed into the veggie parameter function?
Each item of the array, one at a time.
It's automatically do that?
Yeah. So that's how forEach and map do. That's what they do. If you, that's how they work. You pass it a function, it'll always pass in as the first argument the next item in the array, and it'll do it for everything in the array. So you no longer have to keep track of a counter. You no longer have to say my array square bracket the current index. It's doing all that for you. Yep. So just the way that every time you have an event handler, that event object gets passed in whether we ask for it or not. It's always going to be there. Yep. Yeah.
What is the purpose of still having the ability to do a for loop if you can just do either of these? Because I feel like most of the time you're using a for loop, you're just doing it out of an array.
For loops have just been in the language a lot longer. Map was added. Map and forEach, I think, were both added in ES5, which was not that long ago. Yeah.
Are you allowed to remove stuff or add stuff inside of the for loop?
Yeah, if you want to, you might get unintended results depending on what exactly you do. But yeah, there's nothing stopping you. I apologize in advance for the microphone. Any other questions about this? Yeah. Internally what? Yeah, it's the same idea. It's just different syntax to accomplish the same thing. If the function is already written, it's much shorter. Like if you have a named function here, we have anonymous functions, but it could be a named function too. Right? Inside the parentheses, you could totally just put the name of another function. Anything else?